What if I told you that some of R&B's most unforgettable voices are no longer with us, and you might not even know it? Behind those soulful lyrics and timeless melodies were lives marked by struggle, heartbreak, and tragedy. Some slipped away quietly, their deaths barely making headlines, while others left the world far too soon after years of fame and pain. From icons who shaped the sound of a generation to hidden gems who vanished without fanfare, these are 15 R&B stars you didn't know passed away. 15. Sylvia Robinson. Before hip-hop became a global force, Sylvia Robinson was quietly shaping its future. Known first as an R&B singer in the 50 seconds and 60 seconds with hits like Love is Strange, Sylvia later became one of the few women to own a record label, Sugar Hill Records. Her vision helped launch Rapper's Delight, the song that introduced hip-hop to mainstream audiences. But long before her business success, she was a soulful performer with a deep, emotional voice that often went overlooked. Despite her massive influence on both R&B and rap, Sylvia lived her final years away from the spotlight, passing in 2011 from congestive heart failure. Her death barely made headlines, even though her fingerprints are all over modern music. She wasn't just a singer, she was the bridge between R&B's golden sound and hip-hop's birth. 14. David Ruffin, The Temptations. David Ruffin was the golden voice behind My Girl, the song that made The Temptations a household name. His raspy, passionate vocals defined Motown's sound and gave soul music its raw edge. But behind that magnetic smile was a man fighting inner battles. Fame changed him, his ego clashed with the group, and his drug addiction spiraled out of control. He left the Temptations at the height of their fame, chasing solo success that never quite reached the same glory. In 1991, David Ruffin died from a drug overdose in Philadelphia, his final days marked by loneliness and regret. His passing was tragic not just because of his talent, but because his voice symbolized an era when R&B felt pure and alive. Even today, when My Girl plays, you can still hear the heart of a man who gave everything to music. 13. Sam Cooke. Sam Cooke wasn't just an R&B singer. He was the voice of a movement. With timeless songs like A Change Is Gonna Come and You Send Me, he blended gospel soul with pop perfection, creating a sound that defined the early 1,960 seconds. His smooth voice and charm made him one of the first black artists to cross over to mainstream audiences. But behind his fame was a man fighting for creative control and social justice at a time when both were risky. In 1964, at just 33, Cooke was shot and killed under mysterious circumstances at a Los Angeles motel. The details remain controversial, and many still believe there's more to the story. His death silenced a voice that once gave hope to millions, yet his influence echoes through every generation of R&B that followed. 12. Minnie Riperton. Minnie Riperton's voice was like no other, light, angelic, and breathtakingly high. Her hit Lovin' You still feels like a lullaby from another world. Born in Chicago, she started as a background singer for legends like Stevie Wonder before stepping into her own spotlight. Minnie was known for her 5-octave range, a gift that made her songs sound almost otherworldly. But just as her career began to soar, she was diagnosed with breast cancer. Even while battling the disease, she continued to record and perform, never losing that radiant smile. In 1979, she passed away at just 31, leaving behind not only unforgettable music, but also her daughter, Maya Rudolph, who would later become a star in her own right. Minnie's songs still remind listeners that beauty and fragility often come hand in hand. 11. Etta James. Etta James didn't just sing, she poured her soul into every word. With classics like At Last and I'd Rather Go Blind, she captured love and heartbreak in ways few could match. Her voice carried both power and pain, shaped by a life filled with hardship. From battling addiction to fighting her way through the music industry's rough edges, Etta never stopped performing, even when her health began to fade. She lived through decades of change, witnessing R&B evolve while staying true to her raw, emotional style. When she passed away in 2012, it felt like the end of an era. Etta's music remains a masterclass in emotion, proof that even through pain, art can shine brighter than ever. Her songs don't just play, they speak directly to the soul. 10. Levi Stubbs, The Four Tops. Levi Stubbs had a voice built for greatness, deep, rich, and full of passion. As the lead singer of The Four Tops, he helped create Motown magic with unforgettable hits like Reach Out, I'll Be There, and Baby, I Need Your Loving. His powerful vocals carried not just love songs, but an entire generation's soundtrack. Yet, unlike many frontmen, Stubbs stayed loyal to his group for over 4 decades, valuing brotherhood over solo fame. Behind the scenes, he faced health issues that slowly took away his strength, but never his dignity. When he passed in 2008, the world lost one of Motown's purest voices. Though he never chased the spotlight, his sound remains timeless, strong, emotional, and unmistakably real. Every time those harmonies play, you can still feel Levi Stubbs's heart leading the way. 9. Vesta Williams. Vesta Williams had a voice that could shake the walls. She blended soul, power, and emotion with the kind of control that made every note feel alive. Her breakout hit Congratulations in the late 80 seconds showed just how raw and heartfelt her talent was. But despite her incredible vocals, she never reached the level of fame she truly deserved. Behind her confident stage presence, Vesta battled personal struggles and health challenges. In 2011, she was found unresponsive in her hotel room, leaving fans and fellow artists in shock. Her death was ruled an accident related to heart disease. Though her passing didn't make major headlines, her influence lived on through the singers she inspired. Vesta wasn't just another R&B voice, she was proof that talent doesn't always get the recognition it deserves, yet it always leaves a mark that time can't erase. 8. Rick James. Rick James was the wild heartbeat of funk and R&B. Known for hits like Super Freak and Give It To Me Baby, he brought a mix of outrageous style, raw energy, and irresistible grooves. But behind the flashy clothes and wild persona was a man battling addiction and inner chaos. His fame burned bright in the 80 seconds, but his life offstage was filled with controversy and self-destruction. Rick's drug abuse and legal troubles eventually led him to prison, and when he returned, the industry had changed. In 2004, he died in his sleep from heart failure, his body weakened by years of excess. Yet, despite the madness, his music remains iconic, loud, rebellious, and unforgettable. Rick James didn't just make songs, he created an attitude that shaped R&B and funk forever. His sound still pulses through today's music like electricity. 7. Luther Vandross. Luther Vandross was the voice of romance. With songs like Never Too Much and Here and Now, he made love feel timeless. His smooth tone, emotional depth, and flawless delivery made him one of R&B's most beloved singers. Yet behind that gentle voice was a man who valued privacy, keeping his personal life far from the spotlight. Luther battled health problems for years, including diabetes and a severe stroke that eventually took him away in 2005. His death was quiet, but his absence left a loud silence in the world of soul music. Luther's songs weren't just about love, they were lessons in vulnerability and sincerity. Every lyric he sang carried warmth and truth, reminding listeners that love doesn't need to be loud to be powerful. Even today, his voice remains a symbol of elegance and emotion in R&B. 6. Phyllis Hyman. Phyllis Hyman's voice could move mountains, deep, jazzy, and full of emotion. She was the queen of bittersweet soul, known for songs like You Know How to Love Me and Living All Alone. But behind that elegance was a woman struggling with loneliness and depression. The pressure of the industry, failed relationships, and constant emotional pain became too heavy to bear. In 1995, just hours before she was set to perform, Phyllis took her own life. Her passing devastated those who knew her brilliance. She was more than a singer. She was a storyteller whose voice carried both strength and sorrow. Though her career never reached the commercial success it deserved, her music continues to touch hearts that understand the beauty in pain. Phyllis Hyman's songs live on as haunting reminders of how fragile even the brightest stars can be. 5. Whitney Houston. Whitney Houston wasn't just an R&B icon, she was a global voice of perfection. With hits like I Will Always Love You and I Want to Dance with Somebody, she broke barriers and inspired an entire generation. Her voice was pure magic, soaring effortlessly between power and emotion. But behind the glamorous smile was a life filled with pain. Fame, addiction, and a troubled marriage slowly took their toll. Whitney tried to rebuild herself again and again, yet the weight of it all kept pulling her down. In 2012, she was found lifeless in a hotel bathtub. Her death ruled an accidental drowning linked to drug use. The news shocked the world, not just because of how she died, but because of how much she had given. Whitney's voice remains unmatched proof that even when angels fall, their songs never fade away. 4. James Ingram. James Ingram was the definition of class in R&B. His smooth, soulful voice made love songs like Just Once and 100 Ways timeless treasures. He didn't need flashy performances. His voice alone could fill any room with emotion. Behind the scenes, James was a quiet, humble man who focused on his craft rather than fame. Over the years, he collaborated with legends like Quincy Jones and Patti Austin, leaving behind a trail of elegance in every note. When he passed away in 2019 after a long illness, the world lost one of its purest voices. His death didn't make the noise it should have, but true R&B lovers felt it deeply. James Ingram represented an era when music spoke from the heart, not the charts. Even now, his songs remind listeners of a time when love sounded sincere and timeless. 3. Teena Marie. Teena Marie was the Ivory Queen of Soul, a white woman with the heart and voice of deep, authentic R&B. Discovered and mentored by Rick James, she broke racial boundaries in the late 70 seconds and 80 seconds with hits like Lover Girl and Square Biz. Her voice carried both fire and soul, proving that real music knows no color. Teena fought fiercely for artistic control and respect in an industry that often underestimated her. But years of touring, exhaustion, and health struggles began to wear her down. In 2010, she passed away unexpectedly in her sleep at only 54. Her death stunned fans, who saw her as one of the truest voices of her era. Teena's spirit lives on in every R&B artist who dares to blend passion with power. She wasn't just a singer, she was a force of pure emotion. 2. Aaliyah. Aaliyah was the future of R&B, a perfect mix of grace, mystery, and innovation. With songs like Rock the Boat and Are You That Somebody, she redefined what it meant to be cool and effortless. Her voice was soft yet hypnotic, her style years ahead of its time. At just 22, she had already conquered music, film, and fashion. But in 2001, tragedy struck when her plane crashed in the Bahamas after filming a music video. The world was left in disbelief. How could someone so young, so full of promise, be gone so soon? Aaliyah's passing wasn't just a loss for fans, it was a wound for the entire music industry. Her sound continues to influence artists today, reminding everyone that true talent, no matter how brief its time, leaves a lasting echo that never dies. 1. Gerald Levert. Gerald Levert was born into music royalty, the son of Eddie Levert from the O'Jays, and he carried that legacy with unmatched soul. From his early days with the group Levert to his solo hits like Casanova and Made to Love Ya, Gerald's voice had a warmth that made every lyric feel personal. He sang about love, heartbreak, and passion with the honesty of someone who lived it all. Behind that powerful stage presence, though, he struggled with health issues and the pressures of constantly performing. In 2006, at just 40 years old, Gerald died in his sleep from a mix of prescription and over-the-counter medications. The news left fans heartbroken, an incredible voice silenced far too soon. He wasn't just known for his songs, he was known for how deeply he made people feel. Even now, when his music plays, it feels like he never really left. Their voices may have fallen silent, but their songs still breathe life into every corner of R&B. Each of these artists gave everything to their craft, some lost too soon, others quietly fading away, but all left behind music that refuses to be forgotten. It makes you wonder, how many more incredible voices have slipped through history without the recognition they deserve? If these stories moved you, don't let their names fade again. Hit that like button, share this video with another R&B lover, and make sure to subscribe for more untold stories behind the music you love.